Hi everybody, Dave here from British Trucking. Welcome to the channel. Today I will be discussing what is needed to drive trucks in the UK. Now if you're considering becoming a truck driver, this video is perfect for you. Now if you're new to the British Trucking channel, it is all about trucking in the UK. And if that's your thing, then why not subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload any new videos. Right, let's get started. What is needed to drive trucks in the UK? Let's go. If you're considering HGV driving in the UK as a career option, then understanding everything about the job as a truck driver before investing hard-earned cash is important. A truck driving job can be challenging, plus it can involve working long hours away from home, which is not ideal for everyone. Let's take a look at what is needed to become an HGV driver in the UK. Before considering becoming a HGV driver in the UK, you must be at least 18 years old and you must hold a full UK car driving licence. Now if you are 18 years old and you have a full car licence, you'll now be able to apply for a provisional HGV driving licence. There are two stages to apply for the provisional licence, which include a D2 and a D4 form, which are available from the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, or DVLA. The D2 form is information about yourself and the licence that you're applying for. The D4 form has to be filled in by your doctor or a private medical service that specialises in completing driver medical examinations. Now the latter one of those is often the cheapest option, so shop around a little bit. Once the two forms have been completed, you now apply to the DVLA for your provisional licence. The provisional driving licence can take up to 3 weeks to process, so be prepared for the wait. Once you've received your new, shiny provisional truck driving licence, you will need to complete a 4-part test. Now that consists of the Driver CPC Part 1 Theory Test, Driver CPC Part 2 Case Studies Test, the Driver CPC Part 3 Driving Ability, and the Driver CPC Part 4 Practical Demonstration. Now once all of these parts have been passed, you will then be a qualified HGV driver and you will receive a driver qualification card. This card is also known as the CPC card, Driver Certificate of Professional Competence. This card will be required by employers for you to apply for a job. One more step that will need to be completed is to apply for a Digital Tachograph driver card. Now this card is essential for driving modern trucks that are fitted with a digital tachograph. You insert this card every time you drive a truck and it records all the data of your truck driving day. Now the driver card is also a requirement by an employer for you to be able to drive their trucks. The process of becoming an HGV driver can be costly, not only in money, but also in the length of time it takes to complete all of the steps mentioned. So be prepared for it to take some time to become a truck driver. Okay, once you've received your full HGV licence, it will allow you to drive a rigid vehicle up to 32 tonnes. You are then also able to apply to take a Class 1 test to drive articulated vehicles up to 44 tonnes. But more recently, the government have changed the process with testing, and that now allows you to take the Class 1 test, skipping out the Class 2 test altogether. This is obviously your choice. The difference is, if you take the test in a rigid vehicle, then that is what you will be licensed to drive. If you take the test in an articulated vehicle, then you'll be able to drive a Class 1 vehicle. Personally, I think going from a car licence to driving a 44-tonne articulated truck on the road is a big step. Now, I would recommend, if you take the Class 1 test to achieve your licence straight away, try to get a Class 2 job for a while to gain some experience and become used to driving large vehicles on the road before jumping straight into a truck that will be much longer and heavier than the small articulated driving school truck used to take your test. Okay, what earnings would you hope to achieve in 2021 as a HGV driver? Right, now in the UK there is a shortage of HGV drivers across the country of up to 100,000. So the salaries for trucking in the UK are beginning to rise slowly. Now, depending on the type of trucking job you want to do, salaries vary from around £24,000 to £35,000 per year for new drivers. Now, to achieve more earnings, it may be worth considering taking further tests, such as an ADR or ASCHEM, to haul fuel and chemicals, a rear-mounted forklift licence, or a HIAB crane licence, for example. Now, having the ability to drive trucks with extra qualifications will increase your earnings potential, providing you find a good company that pays more for your qualification. Now, earnings with extra qualifications can be as much as £60,000 a year, especially if you carry dangerous goods or chemicals. Okay, what responsibilities should you expect as a HGV driver? Now, an HGV driver has many responsibilities to carry out, and it does not simply just involve sitting there driving a truck. So let's take a look at some tasks you will need to do as a HGV driver. Okay, vehicle checks. A driver is responsible for checking his or her vehicle every day to ensure it's safe to be driven on the roads. Now, this is achieved by completing a defect report form in a defect book or completing a defect app on your phone, depending where you work. Checking the load. Now, it's essential that any load you carry is safe and is the driver's responsibility to ensure it's secure and also that the vehicle is not overloaded. Weight distribution of the load is also important, so that your axle weights don't exceed the maximum required for your vehicle. Driving the truck. There are legal requirements a driver must abide by when simply driving the HGV vehicle. Driver's hours and regulations must be adhered to ensure that you don't exceed your driving hours. You need to take breaks when required to abide by tacho rules. Plus, do not exceed the speed limits. Now, if you break these rules, you could be fined heavily by the DVSA, plus you could even have your licence revoked. Unloading. Depending what type of truck you drive, the unloading procedure can obviously vary. You may be required to do multi-drop deliveries, which, it will involve making sure that your weight distribution is still maintained once your goods start to be unloaded from the vehicle to continue with your journey. If you drive a curtain sider, the curtains will need to be opened and they'll need to be closed again once you've finished, and they'll need to be closed securely before you can continue. All your tie-down straps that you remove will need to be stored safely before continuing your journey. And also, paperwork will need to be completed to show that you've delivered your goods to the customer, or collection notes if you're collecting from a customer. Backloads. Very often, after delivering all your goods, you'll be required to collect other goods to bring back with you so that the vehicle is more efficient and not travelling great distances empty. This is called backloading. Some HGV equipment may need to be purchased by a truck driver. Health and safety is important, especially for HGV drivers, and there are many things to consider. Now, when working for a company, they will normally provide you with basic safety gear such as gloves, hard hat, high vis, eye protection glasses, and if you're lucky, a decent pair of boots. Now, making sure that you have all the necessary equipment to enable you to complete your driving day safely is an important part of HGV driving. There are many items you should consider that may not be provided by the company, such as a map book, a sat-nav, waterproof overclothing, also supplies and equipment such as spare drinking water, cooking equipment, a kettle in the cab. Items in the cab, especially if you do nights out, items such as a truck TV, power inverter, a dash cam, a sleeping bag, a portable toilet, and not forgetting loo rolls. That's if there's some still left on the shelves. The type of job you do as a truck driver will determine the items that will be suitable to make your job easier, safer, and of course, much more enjoyable. Before I go, I just want to play a short clip. I recently uploaded a video to YouTube of our day out at Truckfest Northwest, the truck show there. Now, a driver gave us a big thumbs up, and somehow the clip didn't make it onto the video. So here's this short clip, just to say thank you. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope it gave you an insight into what is needed to become a UK truck driver. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a big thumbs up. Plus, don't forget to check out the British Trucking website for more information about trucking, especially in the UK, and plus some great products for truck drivers. So don't miss those, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.